Must have ran over something. I got a low tire today. That's not good. Come on now. Come on now. Cooperate. Don't aggravate. Cooperate. Don't aggravate. See? Idiot. Alright, we're going to start our day here and try to beat the heat. This morning, we're going to start our day using these. This is a brand new one, but it's probably a year old, meaning I've just never used it. We're getting an early start. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Well, what are we going to do today?
We're going to kick this grass's ankle.
Okay, well, you heard the boy. We're going to kick this grass's ankle. Get started. Gentlemen, start your engines. Okay, remember you're gonna say we're gonna kick this grass's ankle.
Yes.
Okay? And then I'm gonna falsely bleep it. What are we gonna do?
We're going to destroy it.
You got one line, son.
We're going to kick this grass's ankle.
I like this new Echo. It probably changed by now, I don't know. But if you see these, I don't know if you can see these or not. Hell, I can't even see it right now. You see these, this arrow right here. If you line that arrow up with that hole, you should be able to see right through that hole. And then you just feed your line through that hole. About an arm's length, you know, stretch your arms out. Okay, wait for that question. Quit it. No, I'm serious. I don't want to stand here all damn day. I want to get the grass cut. All right, we're going to start. No, that. You feed your line to it that way. See? Sometimes it's a little cantankerous getting through there, but it's one of the easiest that I've used in a long time. This has got quite a bit of string on it for some reason from the factory. A lot more than what the dealer told me. The dealer told me an arm's length, but there's a lot more than that on. There's 2 arm lengths of mine. That's good to know. You just turn it like that. This string's all already been on it, so it's a little cantankerous. Voila. Couldn't find my pop.
No. Water's better for you.
It is, and it's cold.
Can remember the last time I saw you drink water instead of pop.
I drink a lot of water.
I'm setting my water on this side.
Hey, you see what I'm doing? I'm taking it down shorter now. So when you get to that end, you come back and cut this down level with where I cut. The reason I had you cut it just ditch level is so that you didn't get that grass all tangled up in your weed eater. You'd have been out there fighting it. See?
I say we ought to hurry because it's starting to get hot.
Yeah, I ain't holding you up. I'm doing my thing. I just explained to you to come back down through there. You on?
I get every time.
Good kid right there. Thing's usually one pull. Huh? What?
I'm not even holding it and it's still going.
Get it. It's cause this was pulled out, jamming it up. This was here and it was holding the throttle. See how that is? When you pull that, make sure it goes right back in the same spot. Learned something there today, huh?
Yeah.
Always something new, huh?
Yeah.
What happened there was he pull started, the pull knob, pull handle came down, got lodged in there and was holding the accelerator open. What are the odds of that? Only when you're like 12 years old. Anyway. that's not it. What was my line? Missus, you want to give them a tour here? Tell them what we're going to be doing? Yeah. Huh? You going to show us what we need to be doing in here today, or you going to turn it over to me? Thank you. Thank you very much. We're going to get in here on this. Oh, so you're going to do it? Going to try to fill in this gap. The problem I got, as you can see, there's no studs. And my problem is working around this drain here. This wiring is for the 220. I gotta watch that. I don't know if that's hot or not. I have to test that and see if it's hot. But that's what I gotta try to do. So I gotta build me a frame here. And I think I can go ahead and do that all the way down to here and slide it into place. Then I'm gonna have to build from this point here around here. And I may redo this plumbing. That's Quest Line. That Quest Line was put in here back in the early 90s. So that's what we're going to do.
Ramble on, young man. Get off the subject of the topic of the subject. Here we go again. That's what we're going to do. I think we're going to have enough stuff here left over from some other jobs and stuff to do the job. I'm going to gather up my materials and then start cutting and make my wall. Hasta la vista.
Gentlemen, start your engines. You start right here, okay? I'm going to show you how. Put it up all the way up on choke first. Is it
it's
on?
not on start.
Measure one of these off and see. You should wear safety glasses, but if you don't have any, you can always trust your eyelids to a certain point. And what's that one look like? Oh. Again, safety glasses are required. However, if you don't have them, man, I keep tripping over that cord. Where'd my measure go? Now we gotta have 9. 19. I didn't see the one there. That messed me up just a tad, but I got it worked out just in time. By the time I found safety goggles, I have all these cut. not. I would not suggest that. And we're right on the money, like we want to be, and we gotta have. Right through a knot. I should have looked at that stuff before I measured. I mean, they got knots in them all over the place. Bad deal. I got a box of nails here left over that I'm not going to use on anything. I need to use them up. It'll work just fine. Forgotten the taste of this and haven't had a root beer or a root beer float in a while, I highly suggest it right now. Get you some root beer, but you can't beat the A&W, in my opinion, and get you some ice cream. Put about 4 scoops in I don't know how big that glass is, depending on how big your glass is, and make you a root beer float. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Trust me, you're gonna love it. Some of you noticed that this didn't have a handle inside of it. I found a handle, but it had it was broken right here on the inside where it clips in. So what we did was we used some of this magic glue that holds anything.
Crazy glue, strong enough to hold this woman suspended in midair. Bonds almost anything. A plastic knob, a plastic plug, a rubber boot, a metal brooch, a fishing rod, a cycle grip, model planes and model trains, a doorknob screw, a flashlight case, the broken trim on any car.
I don't care what you want to glue, it'll hold it. And in order to keep this tight against here, so that the glue seals itself to the 2 parts, we put a little tape across it and we build it up right here. See there? That way the pressure is holding that in. And as you can see, I use 220 grit on this. That's what you'll need to use. I recommend you use a 220 grit to hold that in there. Living the dream. Today's pretty simple. We're going to take this fish machine right here. It's a Whirlpool. You've seen it in one of the videos, I'm sure. Ultimate Care 2. One of the best they ever made in the world. It's still running today, folks. It's not brand new. Still kicking. The only problem is this old baby right here's got some busted dog ears or some worn out dog ears. And today, we're going to fix that. And I'm going to show you how to fix that. And you don't need a whole lot of tools in order to fix that. And you don't need to spend a bunch of money on getting a repairman out to do it either. Dog ears are very, very inexpensive. About $4, under $5 for sure in your town. If they're not, I'll pay anything over $5 for you. No, I probably won't do that, but anyway, here we go. The first thing you want to do is you want to lift that lid up. That's right here. Let's get the camera in position so you can see what we're doing. Okay.
and bottom at the top. No help on it. Could use a little help. No help on it. If you need any help. Do you need any help? Do you need any help? I can handle this job all by myself. Now, she called me her little freaky wiggy. I called her my little thingamajig. When I asked her for a gift, I could hear her voice sound something like this. Do you need any help? No help on it. Could use a little help.
Well, I don't know how much I actually even got on there. I'm working away and noticed the battery is dead. I'm not getting much battery time out of that camera anymore. It does decent, but battery's about the first thing that ends up going on. I drove the nails through the main runner here, if you want to call it, and then I flipped it over. I had the nails coming through about, you know, protruding this side about that far. Flipped it over, then I took the studs and I drove them on there, and now I'm getting ready to put the top or bottom, whatever it's going to be when it goes in there, section of the wall. And I try to do it up here, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. I'm going to have to put it on the floor. I'm not going to be able to get it nailed the way I want to. What we got going on here? Make sure them's all in there before. You can do a little better than that. We can do a little better than that. Goodness gracious. We can't do much better getting a nail out. You know that would happen. I think this is my first time. There it is, and I had to go 2 by 2, and I'll show you why. Come on, come in this way. This way, come on. I'll just come get you if you're not gonna come by yourself, but I don't understand why I gotta do all the work. Yep, now the battery's we're out of battery. Holy man, I can't get a break now. Those aren't very big. We'll leave one frozen bottle. Ought to keep the rest of these good. These are cold. There's 3 waters there. I don't know if we got any more room in this one or not. I don't think so. I think she packed to the brim too. Now we got one there. Maybe. I don't know. Good enough. There's our life savers for today. We're all set. Yeah. To pull this apart, sometimes it can be a little cantankerous, and you'll need to set it on the ground or something to kind of tap here. When you do, be careful, because everything from the top inside could fall out all over the place. Now I've already got this one apart. I tried to show you that, but I didn't have, I thought I had record on, but it's one of the record button wasn't on. But I'm going to show you what these dog ears, this is what they're supposed to look like. See that? The only thing left is these little tips right here on this one. I've been doing this a long time, and I don't recall seeing anything quite so. But that's it, man. That's all that's holding them in there. Childproof bags. Jeez. What the? My goodness. These slide in here really easy. You'll make sure you get them in the right direction though. They'll go in like that and then they catch. They come out. If you go like this, you don't have room to get out of the way. And they won't catch. So you can't put them in wrong. I mean, you can't, what I mean by that is you can make a mistake and put them in there wrong, but it won't work. Try not to make that mistake and put them in there right. I'm missing one. What happened here? I only got 3 dog ears. Well, that ain't right. What the bloomin' contraptions? I ain't dealing with this kind of stupidity today. Found it. So it's nice and lubed, ready to go in. Put this cap back on it. That helps keep them dog ears in place, keeps them from falling out. You gotta know how to put that on there. That's important. Put that right there. You gotta know how to do that. Yeah, everything fell apart here when I don't know where none of this stuff goes. I got O-rings and washers. What am I supposed to do with all this stuff? I don't know nothing about it. I'm not stupid. I'm not really intelligent either. Well, I'll be that sucker. Gee. Man. Oh, man. And that goes on there. Down in there. Just like that. We know this because it came out that. Holy. It's a 5-minute job. And I've already been on it for 20 daggone years. Something ain't right about this. I'll tell you that right now. I don't have to put up with this. Well, that should catch. Yes, sir. See? See how that's turning the whole thing now? Before, it didn't do that. Now it does. So let's put it back inside. Get it buttoned up. Let's wipe it off a little bit. What do you say? Did you see that? Was that in the camera? I think that was out of the camera. You're not supposed to see certain things. We're not going to hunt down a bunch of supplies to do this. We're just going to do this with scalding hot water, Ajax, and bleach. And an old sponge that's seen better days. And let me tell you something. I've been around a long time. This is by far the hottest water I've ever seen in my lifetime. It'll put blisters on you. That ain't good. But we don't have any idiots around here. We don't have to worry about that. So we can turn our water up super duper high. We're just going to try to make it a little more decent for the next person so they don't have to wear somebody else's gunk on their clothes. Comes right off. Hot water's the trick to everything. Get that off. We're going to shoot some down in there. Whoo's that hot? I can pop this off, but chances are it'll crack. So I don't want to do that. This will be good. It'll be good and disinfected. How many people out there, when you buy a used wash machine, think about this? Think about what's inside these. Because there's some nasty stuff in some of them. But like these things here, you don't see these unless you know about this stuff. You're not looking for it. You're not looking for any of this. You're opening up the lid and you're seeing what you're exposed to there, and that's it. And I'm gonna get all these cleaned up before I put the dog ears back in, the new dog ears in. So I'm gonna find something to soak all this stuff in. I'm very prepared, as always. That's what a girl told me. I was dating this girl from Eaton. Oh wait a minute, it's the other way around. Well, anyway, that's what she always told me, that I was always prepared. She liked that in a guy. Okay, so here we got our supplies to clean that with. First off, this, I think this will fit down in there nice. Toilet bowl. Oh, what the hell? Okay, I see. No, I don't see. Alright, now I see. This has some disinfectants in it, I'm sure. That's not going to be rough enough. We want to do it tough. We're tougher than that. This will work. But we're going to have to modify this. So let's squeeze it and drain it out. Now, that's perfect. Yeah, remember folks, there's one, how's that go? There's more than one way to skin a worm, grasshoppers, whatever you're skinning. Get this out of here while we're doing this. Once we add that super sun accelerated hot water there, it's gonna just, I gotta be careful, it might melt the plastic. What do we got going there? Is this gonna do anything? Oh yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Now you're thinking, well boy, as slow as he's going, well, I'm going slow for a reason. I don't want that stuff splashing back in my face, burning my eyelids off, destroying what little bit of eyesight I got left. Ha! Didn't think about that, did you? Don't worry about it. That's what I'm here for. Let's get her down in there deep. That's what she said. Alrighty, there we go. Yeah. Oh man, look at that. We're really getting her now. We're getting to the spot. But this ain't working quite as good as I thought it would. It ain't getting in the cracks. Again, that's what she, well, we'll just cut that out. It's trying to make this a PG rated channel, you know. Pretty good. I don't want it to be PB. Do you think about this when you're buying a used appliance, about all the grime and everything that's coming off of people's bodies and their clothes and the chemicals that they're using to wash with is all inside here, trapped inside here. Okay. Alrighty then. And let that soak there. I think we can get this off. I really do. I think this stuff, that's gold. Shisho, bájate, ponelo, dijiste, moledete, lo le diste, compusta. Wow, de banana. Hot water I got, a little bit of that toilet bowl juice, and by that gummy butt, yes sirree, Bob. Look at that. That's relatively pleasing there, huh? Cleaning the inside of a wash machine. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? Doesn't matter what you do in life. Once you achieve objective, it feels pretty good no matter how small or how big it is. It really does. Achievements are a wonderful thing to look back on. Even failures are wonderful things if you pick out all the good that's involved in it. If you just sit there and dwell on the failure itself and don't look at where you're at today, and hopefully, I mean, what I mean by that is that you're in a good place today. If you're in a good place right now, all that stuff that you thought was a failure, guess what? No. He knows what he's doing. So there you go. That's what I think. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. They run around to the local scrap yards and they dig out appliances that people have brought in. Nothing
wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I can show you how to make money doing that. But these fellers, they're not straight. The place they go is the local car wash. Wash them off, make them nice and purty, make them look brand new.
There we go. I don't want to make it too nice. They'll think we're trying to hide something. Okay, so now we're ready to set it all down in there. Here we go. Let's hope that everything lines up like it's supposed to. We're gonna put our hat in high confident mode here, and let's get it on there. There we go. Success. Uh-oh. Got a problem. There we go. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay. Interesting. There it is. Alright, put a little bit of oil, just a little, on that bolt. That way the next feller gets in there won't deal with something like this. Hopefully get it into threads, right? I mean, we don't really need to. I think once you put that cap on there, it'll be just as good. I don't torque them down any less than 150,000. If you ain't got that in you, you don't have any business working on them. Just to where you can feel the squeeze of the gasket there. Once you, there we go, that's good enough. Absolutely fantabulous. Let's put our nice clean cap in there, turn that sugar right there. Let's get all this beautiful work over spray. So wipe that out there real quick. I can't put a lot of time in them, but I can do that. When I'm changing dog ears, I don't mind to do that. I kind of become a hypocrite because I'm always telling people dig out the good in life, and I share a lot of the good, stories and stuff. But I think it's only right to share both the good and the bad. You're going to get rewards for doing what's right. You definitely are. And you're going to deal with idiots no matter what. No matter how good you are, you're going to deal with idiots that are going to mistreat you in all different manners, try to get you at checkout, try to run your business. What'd you say?
At least I only have to wash my arms and my face after we're done.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yep. Sounds like a wiener. Far and few between. You have to decide whether it's worth it to put this much time into machines, and you got to base that decision on what can people afford. I mean, there's no doubt you're always going to find people that are in need. What can they afford? Charlotte's Web going on in there. There we go. That's a beautiful thing. So another thing that I do, I buy some of this. And the first thing you do is when you buy this at your local store, you empty it out. Then you mix it with your own mix. I kind of like to use a odorless boric acid, odorless charcoal fluid, used Folgers coffee grounds, and a few other chemicals of my choice. Do you think about this when you're buying appliances? Do you think about, you might be bringing somebody else's roaches into your home? Now, the stuff that I have, that's it. And that's probably overkill. Mix I have in this will last 4 months, as long as it's not washed out. So inside you're good, and it's odorless. That set's going to bring $200, or it's going to sit. And I'll use them as a backup for around here. There's money in it, but sometimes you got to sell your labor short. making lunch for today. I got two fantastic workers coming to help me today. Doesn't feel like it's going to be a super hot day, which is good. Come on, man. Come on, man. Get out of the way. Amazing, even in the morning. Oh. Whoops. Uh-oh. Oh my. That's gonna be good around noon. The boy don't like watermelon. The girl, she like it a watermelon. Take care of that. Sir, you're in the way. Come on, dude, watch out. Sir, move. Out of there. I always freeze water bottles. Put them in the cooler. Put your sandwiches in the cooler. Place your watermelon in the cooler. Your snacks in the cooler. Oranges in there. Orange you glad. Oh, banana. For a fact, Jack. Yeah, what you saying there, sir? You don't like bananas. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. Well, now that I got it all tore apart, and which was quite a chore, I really nailed that sucker together back in the day. I got a couple good 2x4s here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this piece yet. That's done. That's out of the way. And I'll get my mess cleaned up, get the nails out of the 2x4s, and stack them in my lumber pile. Yeah, that's good. Oh, yeah, those treated too. Treated lumber. That must all be treated lumber there. Painted. That's gonna bring the value of that way up there. It's too early to argue. Want to tell everybody good morning? Huh? You said good morning? Sir, can you say good morning? You're letting me down, man. This is a shining moment here. Oh, no. What do you mean? You give me a pfft. Who do you think you are? Ed Bassmaster? Take a break, son. Watch a master work here. I think I just invented something. Probably not. Every time you think you did something new, you look on the internet, somebody's already done it.
flying at twice the speed, isn't it?
Ooh, look. They grow into big frogs to keep you up all night.
Yeah, you always hear, all you hear is.
Battle wounds. Worth it though. That was fast on that bushes. I mean, they're not perfect, but now I can take my hedge trimmer and touch them things up in just a matter of minutes, where it would have took me a long time to trim them up with them hedge trimmers. They look pretty decent, don't they?
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You improvise, use what you got. You experiment. You don't just take man's word for it to here's how you got to do it, you know?
You do your own thing.
That's right, you do your own thing. No, nobody can ever say we ain't original. That's for damn sure.
Here's somebody creeping up on you. What do you need? I mean, this dude, he's not worried about nothing. You think he's some kind of ninja? Huh? He's some kind of ninja, you think? He's got a little squirrely there for a minute.
So there's money in them as long as you study what your area, know what your base is going to be, your customer base is going to be, how much they're going to pay for them. Watch out, you know, as far as I said, your warranties. Watch what you pay for them. Never pay over scrap price for a used, busted machine. You know, you may get it home, find it something very small, minor to fix. You may find that it's something major, but at least you can have yourself some parts. Gonna do something with this drive, I don't remember. Oh yeah, it's got this. Fix that. A little bit of this. Magic. Crazy glue.
Metal, rubber, plastic, ceramic will last. Whatever gets broken, crazy glue can fix fast. Let crazy glue do it. Crazy glue! Let crazy glue do it. Let crazy glue.
At True Value Hardware, Walgreens, Woolworth, Osco Drug, and Hoarder.
imagine we can take this off. Oh yeah, it stays on when we shut it. Good to go. We're making progress around here. You're gonna be rich before you know it. This is just a start. These two machines are gonna be the start of something good for us. And can you afford to provide that service or that product to them? And are you a man of your word? Or a woman of your word? Do you stand behind your work? What you have to also do is decide that if a machine does fail on somebody in a short period of time of getting it from you. And here's where I've always had a hard time. People could call me and they could tell me, you know, a day, 2 days later. Some of them even give you the story where, you know, well, we took it and as you aware, we were remodeling and we just got the house done, and I know we bought that a month ago, but we just put it in and that ain't working. You see my hand? That's quite the angle there, eh? Okay. I got a good drink. That'll warm me out. Let's see if we can get a little more light on the topic of the subject. I got all this fancy gear here today. How's that? I can't see nothing. Okay, so here we got our tools we're gonna need here. You need a ratchet, extension. I don't have all I do have, but I didn't feel like looking for them. I'm half blind, so I really can't read that. I think it's like 7/16. Don't quote me on that. Put that in there now. You see that's turning down there. That means we're gonna have to get inside there. We're gonna have to get down and dirty. First things first, we gotta put our hat in speed and strength position. Reach down here, hold that, and hopefully that'll break loose. Get it loose. We're gonna be in good shape here, boys. Don't worry about it. We got it. We got it. Ah, there we go. There we go. Piece of cake. Now you don't have to hold that no more. You can turn your hat back around, put it on cruise control, and out she comes. And if you're got a little oomph to you, don't take long. You ain't gotta use that wrench. Air wrenches are optional. They just make too much noise when you're trying to do stuff like this. It's a little, not much quicker. You got speedy hands like me. Voila. Hopefully you don't run into something like this. See that? That's one I did not too long ago, and it was so rotted in there the bolt broke off. Had to re-tap it. So this should pull right up for us. Oh, would you look at that? That's beautiful. Some of them are cantankerous. If you look down in right here, right, see, right, yeah, right there. That whole thing has to come out right, and it should. Sometimes this is cantankerous. It's right here. There's not even any dog ears in here. I love human beings, but I gotta tell you, a lot of them are idiots. I mean, they just got completely destroyed. This is what they look like right here. The little gears on the end of them, they get worn out. So it's not really a big job, but I get back with you. Toodaloo. We'll make biscuits and gravy. I got my oven already warmed up. I haven't made biscuits and gravy for a long time. Oh! Boom! These are the jumbos.
I might need a bigger pan. How many fit on this thing? I'll get my arm here one way or the other.
A little tight. It's awful tight. Tight spot there. Okay, let's put them in the oven. And let them do the thing. See a little warm. Make sure I got that set on the right temperature. I think it's 350. All-purpose flour. Yes, sir, Bob. Let's make sure we open it up here. Yep. Let's get it everywhere. Okay, there we go. And we did get it everywhere. That's good enough. We don't care about that. Everybody's got their own different way of making gravy. Come on. I ain't got time to mess around. Come on. You coming in? I gotta get rid of these cats. I'm gonna cut my brake light and come in. I'm gonna throw them a few pieces of sausage, but they're being stupid. Come on. Alright, now we can concentrate. Evolution, my ass. Cats are just as dumb as they ever was. Now, depending on how thick you want your gravy, Alright, I believe we got enough here. I mean, I'm just one man. I just add a little bit of water to it. I know what you're thinking. That's the way I like to do it. I got me some sausage here. Be a good place for a guy to have a knife, don't it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Nothing staged here, folks. Nothing staged at all. This is real. This is real life. Welcome to real life at the shop. Waterly down gravy. Papa always said if it don't taste good, just add more pepper to it. Well, you got a decision. You got to make a decision on whether you're going to stay in it with those kind of people, in those types of situations. How hard-nosed you going to be about it? How desperate are you? How desperate are you? I've always kind of looked at it on the basis of my impressions of an individual that I'm dealing with. I can tell if somebody's going to be a problem buyer. And just like the guy that came to look at that refrigerator we got going the other day, I don't forget people like that. They prove to be a valuable lesson in life. You know, he knows what he's doing when he brings them kind of people to you. And that guy I knew right off, he was a problem. So I refused to sell it to him. Even if he wanted to buy it, he was in the understanding he could look at it all he wanted. But he wasn't taking it out of here. I wasn't going to have that. I knew that guy was a problem. Well, we're off to get us some dog ears. Bow wow. Bow wow. For that Whirlpool wash machine that I've been working on. Then we're also going to be working on that dryer a little bit today. Get them out of here. Get this building empty. Oh. Beautiful day. 76 degrees already at 8:56 in the morning with 89% humidity. Welcome to my world. You never get used to the humidity. It'll make you sweat badly. I lost my helper. One of my helpers. Of course, I fired the old dude, and I say the old dude because he was the oldest helper I had. He kept coming in drunk, high. I got no problem with that stuff unless you're on my clock and you're screwing my shit up. And I got a real problem with that. Man, them bushes look good for weed eating. I'm sure somebody else has already done that. Nothing you can hardly do out there that hadn't already been done, trust me. I get excited when I come up with something new, and then I get on the internet and I look and I say, damn, man. But it doesn't mean you're not original. Even if somebody's come up with it first, that still doesn't mean you're not original. As long as you haven't stolen an idea, you know, if you come up with something, that's your original idea. Just because somebody else comes up with it first don't mean anything. I mean, gee whiz, you know. Give yourself some credit. They say, how come you don't have an electric gate? You've been down here all them years and you don't have an electric gate. Well, I can give you about 8,000 reasons why. And they all have a dollar bill sign on them. Let's just say, hypothetically, that I had $8,000 to throw into an electrical gate. Why would I do that? I'm perfectly capable of getting out of the damn truck and opening up the gate. I'm all lost him when I was 9 years old, man, 1973. Boy, let's see how we get her here. Let's see if she turns out. She may not turn out. I don't know. Have to back up and punt. I don't know. Thickening up already. She's done. And we're going to put her on low here. Let's taste it. Let's see what we got. Perfect. Right amount of salt, right amount of pepper. She's good, boys and girls. Turn this on low. I think I got the right one. I didn't the other day. I don't really see my burn spot there. Well, let's see here. Yep. That's excellent tasting too, I'm telling you. But that there, I'll eat every bit of that. Probably not, but I'll eat a bunch of it. Now, you know what I like to do? I like to take my eggs, set them right on top of it. Voila. Voila, bala, whatever, wah. Then, oh yeah folks, more of that good heart attack mix right there over top. Busted the daggone egg. You gotta be careful. Thank you, Lord, for this meal and for giving me the ability to be able to cook it up, and I just appreciate everything you do. Amen. But there's some folks I understand. You get yourself in a situation where it's dinner on the table, or you let people run over you. When I was a young man, I'd been in that situation, and I let people run over me. So when you hear me talk, I sometimes I'm talking, and you got to understand, I'm talking in the state of mind of a well-seasoned man. So now, first thing is lift the lid. You want to pop this center out right here. This is called your agitator. This is in the center of the drum here. It goes back and forth, and see what this one's doing right here? It's just spinning. Pop that center cap out, reach your hand down in there, and it's going to be grimy and grimy in there unless it's a new machine that's never had any soap ran through it. And you pull out this little cover. It's a clear plastic cover. As you can see, it's not clear, but it is plastic. So I only lied to you just a little bit of that. Oh, there we go, a little technical difficulty. Okay, I don't know how much you missed there, but let's start over. Today's pretty simple. We're going to take this fish machine right here. It's a Whirlpool. You've seen it in one of the videos, I'm sure. Ultimate Care 2, one of the best they ever made in the world. It's still running today, folks. I'm going to lift the lid. I was just messing with you. I knew it was pointing up the whole time. Did you stay with me, or did you leave thinking, well, this blooming idiot? About a month ago, I got a hankering for a root beer float, which A&W root beer is one of my favorites. I used to hang out to A&W Drive-In in my hometown. Back in the day, it was a hangout spot. You had the car hops, and no, I'm not talking about back in the 50s either. Talking about back in the 80s. But anyway, once I tasted it again, I was like, huh. Because it had been so long since I'd had a root beer even. But a root beer float. But now they've become not a routine thing, but yeah, more frequently than they used to. Okay, the other camera died. I don't know if either one of them has good quality picture, but here's what it looks like. As you see, I stopped right here at the bottom of that water line. Now, that quest line does give some, so that's a good thing. We are above right where I want to be. New wall section will also, it'll go right to there. And then I'll have to put me a small section here. And I'll have to build me a section here to go above the drain. Same thing over here. But I'm satisfied with that, the way that looks. And I'll get it secure enough there that it'll hold the baseboard heat. This is heated with baseboard inside here. That's exactly what I wanted. Man, you don't hardly ever get exactly what you want, so that's pretty doggone good, right? Been around, seen some things, and I'm not short in tolerance and heart. It's there. It's just that I'm short with time. I just don't mess with stuff too long if I know where it's going to head in the first place. Unless it's positive. If it's bad and I see where it's heading, I shut it off or try to. That's done. We got good rotation on it. Whoop! I didn't have the cap on there. Well, she ain't ratcheted now. What's going on there? Yeah, man. Yeah, take that back. Well, what seems to be the problem? They gave me the right, didn't they? They gave me the right ears. Oh, now. Too many of these in there to a problem. There you go. Tight. I used 1,100 pound pressure on that instead of 1,099.9. They're catching good. Okay. So I'm applying paint, and this is that top board that's going behind the toilet. And when you're doing those kind of things, it doesn't hurt to just go ahead and paint all the edges. Like this here, you're not going to see all of it, but you might see a little bit of it when you're standing there washing your hands at the sink. And depending on which way you set this thing, you can't do it wrong. If all sides are painted, good. That's just first coat. That's maybe all I put on them too. I mean, going in the bathroom, not going in the homes and gardens, Vanity Affair. We're going to nail this to the step. So what are you going to do? Going to nail this to the step? Right uphill.
Get out of here. Go. Oh, get. Stupid thing. I try to tell it nicely, it won't listen. Gotta cold cock it every time. That just ain't right. We got there. We have another board right out there, didn't we? What does we do if I can get it? We do if I can get it. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. So we'll try. Oh, we didn't get it. We didn't get it. Yeah, we did. Alrighty. That's good. That's really good. Let me put that.
Man, I nailed it. Okay, well, I had to reroute a couple water lines in there, so I'm going to, those look good, I'm going to eat those. I got grapes, and I don't remember, this other day I heard somebody say, aren't grapes just wine in a pill form? Allergies are happening today, boy, she's humid out bad. I bet it's 1,000% percent humidity today. Yesterday about 1,010, so it ain't so bad. Grapes, wine in a pill form. Aren't you glad you joined me today? So Sir's got the board in there in place that we're going to use. It's one that we took out, part of the old wall that we took out, but it's going to work perfect. You're right, Sir. Yeah, it's going to go in there perfect. So all I'll have to do is come up. You can see right there, just come up a little bit right there and extend my runner on this side over here. Once I put my back plate in on this wall to get to sandwich them together, it's going to be sturdy enough. I'll remount the heater, which was mounted right here before, and I'll remount it. Holes already there. There's some holes here for heat to go through, and then cut that out and put a screen in it. Nothing fancy. I'll throw some white paint on that board. I put me a couple more little pieces of wood here, but I just had them pieces laying around out there in the shop and that screen. That'll allow plenty of heat to get back in there on the water lines during the winter time. That plus the heat tape, that ought to keep things good. I mean, we don't get that super cold around here. I mean, we get cold, but not for very long. Long enough for stuff to freeze up. Sir, you've been digging back in there. You little butthole. Or maybe not. Have you found something? I rerouted those water lines here and got them back on the other side of the drain. It was on this side of the drain. That's not from a leak. That's just from where I took the lines apart and lost some water. That'll dry up and be just fine. So, progress right here. That much of a gap. And then, see, I'll frame this, and then, of course, we'll run our wall all the way around to here, and then we'll just cap it. We'll just put a cap on top of it. But we're gonna come far enough back behind here that this lid's gonna come off easy enough on that toilet. We're gonna leave a hole there to expose that shut off. We'll leave a hole there to expose the main shut off back there so we can reach in and shut it off. And that'll do it. Then we'll come over and refurbish this sink area. Let's shut that water off. Nothing's leaking. Good shape. Good shape. Nothing but a leaky faucet dripping. Looks a lot better. Could have went a little lower here. Can you?
Yeah.
Kind of makes it look a little shady.
Shady.
I mean, if you're satisfied with your work and you want to leave it that way.
No, it's fine.
Faucet right there. That's a bummer sometimes. That's the way it goes. I'll just have to fix it. Everything good? You coming with me or staying in here? That's what I thought. Best damn cat dog ever.